We are living in extraordinary times under extraordinary circumstances, and people are looking for meaningful ways to manage stress, boost happiness, and for having a positive impact beyond our four walls. So let me tell you about the SoulBox project. It's an opportunity, a chance to do all of the above through a collection of hand-folded origami boxes representing people affected by the pandemic, by gun violence, by everything that's going on around us. Virtual SoulBox folding events are popping up across the nation. It offers a relaxing and fun way for Americans who are basically stuck at home. Joining me now is SoulBox founder Leslie Lee to talk about how art can inspire change and raise awareness in the community. Hey, thanks for being here. So,
thank you for inviting me. I'm glad to be here.
how did this all come about?
You know, I actually, this is something to address gun violence, and we needed a creative way to respond to this in our country. It's just so frustrating that we feel like we can't do anything. But people all over the country are folding these origami boxes, as you explained, and each one of them represents, a victim of gun violence, somebody who's been killed or injured. And the way this happened for me is that gun violence was really not on my radar because I don't know anybody who's been killed or injured by a gun. And that's true from lots of people. But after the Las Vegas massacre, and I heard about that, I turned away from it. I thought, I don't want to see any more bad news. And then when I realized what had happened, I thought, oh my gosh, if we're all turning away from this, nothing's ever going to change. And so as an artist, I realized that I felt like what was missing from this whole decades-long conversation about gun deaths and injuries in our country is a visual, is something that people can see. So we had, so people are making these little boxes all over because, I can tell you that 65,000 people a year are killed or injured by gunfire. But if I can show you, if I can show you these boxes all lined up or piled up, then you begin to understand, because our brains aren't wired to get those kinds of numbers. But when you can see them and feel something, then that gets to your emotional place, and that's when you want to take action.
Yeah, it gives you a visual. And you talk about gun violence. I don't know if people are aware of this because we're so consumed by the pandemic, but April 16th, the anniversary of the Virginia Tech shootings, April 20th, Columbine happened years ago.
Yes.
We've got the coronavirus pandemic right now, and I know the focus of this had been gun violence, but there are a lot of people who've lost their lives to COVID-19, and we can incorporate that as well, and people can help heal their hearts and use these soul boxes as a way to memorialize those victims as well.
Well, we can use these boxes to help heal ourselves in this time. If we started counting the COVID victims as well as the gunfire victims, we would have two different projects going at the same time. I think what the SoulBox project really can help us during this time of COVID is that folding these boxes, and all you need to do that is just, a piece of 8.5 by 8.5 piece of paper, is that it's a very meditative, soothing, calming thing to do. So when when we're feeling the angst and the anxiety of having to stay home, when we've got children who need activities, when we want to do something that's meaningful, we can fold these boxes, and it's helping us heal. But the boxes are actually to represent gunfire victims. And
I understand, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but I've got to go, because we're up against the clock here, but it really does make a difference. And I know that you want to get everything together by October of this year because you want to put this on display at the National. And I want to tell people, if you'd like to make your own box, you can head to soulboxproject.org. There you can find a step-by-step process of how to make the box. We'll post that link along with this interview on news4jax.com. Sorry I had to cut you off, but we do appreciate your time, and I think this will go a long way to healing.